Welcome to my story. You are welcome to Kronstadt at Mauken Disabled. Hello, my name is Alina. I'm a daughter, a granddaughter, a mother, a farmer, and a grandmother. We know in Sesotho, when your younger sister has children, you're a grandmother. I was born in Free State, in Kronstadt. I've always been into farming. Because as far as I can remember, when I was very young, before I could even start school, my mother used to have a garden in my grandmother's home, at the very same cabbage garden. What inspired me to go into farming, I can say it's difficulties. As I mentioned that before I started school like normal children. Then I went to school, and then when I was going up in grades, in my days it was standards, not grades. I started getting difficulties. As I'm a slow learner, I started getting difficulties, but I managed. I even went to high school, but at high school I started having problems. I couldn't even handle it anymore. I went to school. Maybe when I was doing standard B, I failed. Okay, then at the school that I was, it is right to Mela. There, I went there. I failed, and they said no, you can go further, and I went until I finished standard 7. They didn't even like make me feel that there is something wrong with failing. They encourage me very well. That's why I'm like this proud person. They encourage me. I say, okay, right, there's nothing wrong. And then I started going to high school. When I started seeing there is a problem, there is this thing that a teacher will sit down, and then she will ask, Menzi, how old are you? And you have to explain loudly. And I started to see now, no. I'm the older one here in this class. Why am I the older one in this class? I'm not just a little bit old. I'm like way older than them. And then as you know life, after you started seeing there's something wrong with you, and you will see there is many things wrong with you. And then I started, okay, right. And my mother, most of the time, she was not around because she has to leave the farm, the garden, because the garden is too small and it was not making more money. And then she had 2 kids, so I has to go look for a job. And I was growing up without my father, without my mother. And then I lived with my grandmother, and my grandmother is always at work. And then things starting to become very heavy, like very, very heavy memory. And I tried to commit suicide. Okay. And then they took me to hospital. When I was in the hospital, my mother said I was in coma for 3 days. But when I went to the hospital, I could like speak and say sorry, whatever that I did. I'm not proud of it, but the project got into me. When I talked to this lady, I think it was the social worker, no, not the social worker, the person that will they will take to her when you commit suicide. And she started sitting me down and asking me, what age were you in when you in this grade? What age? And then I went to, and she said to me, no, you are a person that is not supposed to work with, is supposed to work with her hands. The school is not exactly for you. you are, even she didn't even explain what I am, what disabilities I am. And then she took me to the social worker, and the social worker introduced me to a school named Iketseseng. Wow, I started to get into Iketseseng, and there were like people, many people, and with different disability. As you can imagine, like people saying there are people with disability, and I didn't even understand the word. What does disability mean? What is disability? Because I lived with my grandmother. My grandmother always used a crutch. My grandfather always used a crutch. I didn't see it as, I was used to it. I grew up with it, and I didn't see it as something that was wrong or something that was meant to be mentioned. And then when I get there, I can say I was still different from these people, because I was a slow learner, and they had physical disabilities. There were people with wheelchair, there were people that are blind, there were people that cannot speak properly. And then Mrs. Toki said, no, you are a slow learner. Yes, you have disability, but your disability is slow learner. Because I will ask her, okay, right. At school they say I'm not supposed to come to a day school. I must come here. So out here I see I'm different. Saying yes, you are different. We are all different, as you can see, but you are a slow learner. Wow. The community was like very rude to me, like, you are disabled, you are going with the people with disability. And there's this community, wow, the very same people that live in my street, the very same people that see my struggle. Because as you can see, if I am doing grade 7 and I am 15 years old, you can see there's trouble. And you can see, like, I was attending the same class with your daughter. But when I was there, they were like, you have disability. But when I entered it at Iketseseng, wow, I started seeing life. I started seeing life. People were minding their own business. They didn't even care what people are saying about them. They taught me many things. There was this lady that called Miss Osmary. Wow, and she was like, amazing. She will put makeup. I didn't even know nothing about makeup. She will put makeup on her wheelchair. She will wear high heels. And she was like, I don't go in. She was speaking. She said, everything that is bothering you must speak it out. Why do you let people run your life? Then there was Lentsweleng. Then she said, like, there's nothing wrong with you being here. And she explained to me, like, you must go read the Bible. In the Bible, there is this letter that say, the people were asking, and they say, a disabled lady, what went wrong? And the God answered, they said, nothing wrong, nothing went wrong. I was just showing you how big I am. Then after that I said, no, if God had himself to show I am the God, chose me to say I am the God. He didn't even choose other people, he chose me with my disability. And I said, no, now I'm gonna use my disability as something that is wonderful. Whatever people say, no, you are a slow learner, you didn't finish school. Why should I finish school? Why should I finish? I don't have to do things that I don't need to do. Uh, 2015, yeah, it was in 2015 when the Lentsweleng was created. Okay, yeah, the Lentsweleng was created, and the same DPSA introduced us to INMED. The INMED came and say, what can we do to people with disabilities? And the INMED and the Iketseseng say, okay, right. The disabled people said, South Africa said, I have 3 organizations. I don't know if Mr. Unati has mentioned, and I've already forgotten about that. It's just here in Kronstadt. They manage those three organizations. the one that I am is here in Kroonstad. And then they came, I would say, okay, right. Yes, INMED say, yes, we see that you are at the college. But my problem is this is too small. And this is not where we can build. If we can build here, what if they say you must leave? You're going to leave these things now. What can you do? And we started sitting down. And we remember there is Maukeng, disabled people, these disabled children. Where they grow up, they will go to Iketseseng. And then we went to them and say, we saw they have space. And then we told them, as you all know, we have people that say they need to help us. They need to do the gardening for us, but they cannot do it at Mpohadi. So they must do it at something. As we were working together, as your students are coming to us to our school and they grow up. So can you accept that? I said, no problem. You're welcomed. We agreed, the Maukeng agreed, and Iketseseng agreed, and INMED also agreed. And they came and they started making the structures. I was not part of those people that were selected. No, I was not part of them. But I started to say, and then we were told there are people from INMED that are going to build structures, and we're gonna do gardening. I said, structures and gardening. I must go see what is gonna happen there. Then I went. After I went, as you see Mr. Unati, his Sesotho is not very well, and the members, the English were not very well. As we know, people with disabilities, disability that is visible. My disability is not visible, but people with disability that is not visible, as the parent, when they see that you are disabled, they don't take you to school. You must stay at home, or they take you to these schools. Whether you can manage or you cannot, they take you to the school. Okay, then I started like coming here. And then I went to school. I finished I was in grade 10, standard 8. Then I started explaining to them what was Iketseseng, and then we have Janet. She's a lady, a white lady. She doesn't even know Sesotho. Then I will translate to these people what they were saying. Ne? Then at each and every meeting of them, they will call me. Then I will say, okay. Then I got interested. I said, no, I must leave Iketseseng and come here. I must be part of them. I became part of them. But I was the translator, just like that. And the structures, like, wow, opened my eyes and said, what is this? What is this? These people are crazy. How can they make structures and they're gonna build? But after they have finished the lao, it was something that was amazing. Coming here, I also helped them in a way. Because, like I said, I had to translate for them. I remember translating to people that they understand what is happening. I'm just a picker. I was just picking. They know what is going to happen. Then I will just translate for them. Translate, okay. Mr. Whoever, I didn't even know their names. Mr. Whoever is saying like this lady is saying like this, and then they themselves, they started saying, yeah, you are helping us very well. You must always come to us. When we have meetings, we always tell you when we have meetings, okay? Then I started coming, and then when the INMED were taking them to trainings, I will already have to come. Yeah, I will come. Aquaponics is another way of farming, but the simpler way, the way that for me is, as you can see, we don't have to like have big buckets and to water our gardens. We have those pipes that water itself. It's just that the COVID did us bad. We have fish. Our fishes, will produce clean water and the manure for our food. And the other side we have our gravel. We have acrobats. They are acrobats. You can see when you go there. And acrobats, we are planting in stones. We call them crushers. That things that the builder use to make your house stable. Then we use that there. That is aquaponics for me. What motivates me to come here every day, even if there's no money? Firstly, is the love that people with this disability have. Wow, the love that people with disability have is so big, and people with disability, they don't judge. They do not judge you. So outside there, I was judged. I was made believe that I'm different. That here, I'm a person, and I deserve to be loved. And then the Aquaponics people came. They didn't just came like other people that came to disabled groups, and they do what they want to do. They understand our logo that say nothing about us without us. They say, what can we do for you? What do we want us to do for you? And then we started to explain to them, we need to have a garden. And they went back and they came to us with this type of garden that is disability friendly for us. A person with a wheelchair can walk freely here and in there. A person that is blind can be free, can work free. It's not like when you say, as you can see, if a person is blind, she knows that he has to work. There's a pole and there's the other pole. And then you don't have to struggle. There's no struggle. There's no struggle. Even I was saying to them that, no, this gardening stuff is only for disabled people. Because for normal people, they will be lazy. And I said, no, it's all for people. People with or without disabilities. My beautiful, wow. I named her Iketseseng. Iketseseng is thanks. And then the other name is blessings. Wow, that child bring me luck. When I say she's blessing, she gave me blessing. In 2014, I gave birth to her. And then I was like struggling, as I was saying. I didn't even get the disability grant, and I didn't even get anything, like I was saying. But the curiosity, I didn't even care about the money, because I had the people. I had people that had love, because the Iketseseng people had love, and I didn't care about the money. But as I started becoming a mother, I think started to pull. And then after some while, then Mrs. Nzwagi helped me, and I got a disability grant. And you can remember, it was after my baby was born. And then the very same Iketseseng helped me to get a computer, the computer, and I was getting the stipend. And then after, when I was from the school, after I've done the computer, I will have to come here. Yes, I'm teaching my daughter about aquaponics now. Mrs. Nzwagi said, okay, and the INMED people said, okay, can you like do the smaller garden at your homes so that you can practice at your homes, and then when you come here, you see, you can do it. And then I started to do my small garden in my home, and she was like interested. Even before my daughter, I taught her like she must understand her mother. Like I'm a person with disability, and there are people with disability. There are people with different disabilities. I will take her to Iketseseng. She was already used to coming to me and understanding that like there are people who live like this. There are people like that, and so that when she saw someone else with a wheelchair, she doesn't laugh at her. She understands that there are people who live like that. And then when Aquaponics came here, she said, Mama, you have not taken me to where you gone somewhere to the, and she was asking questions, like many questions. And I said, no, this is aquaponics. She said, no, we don't have to have buckets of water and spread them. That one is better. It's better for me. I don't. When I come from school and I help you, I want to help you. But when I come from school, I'm tired. But if I use a bucket of water, I will tired when I sleep. I won't have time for you. Wow. I've learned a lot and I taught her a lot. Firstly, I learned that when it comes to gardening, you can be a plumber too. They show us how we do it, and then and they taught us that we can even use electricity for water. Okay, I was like, electricity, but after they explained to me and showed me, I was like very tricked and happy. And then those crusher sands, the crusher stones, that after we finish building, we throw them away in the streets. They said, no, there are things that you don't have to throw them, just put them somewhere. And then after that, they told me, okay, even if at your home it won't be this big thing, you can take even at the here in location we have 4 rooms. Have these taps where you bath. You take them, and then you take your fish, the small tank fish, and then you can plant there. You can put your things there. It doesn't have to be, because it's in your home. And then I taught her, no, those stones that you're playing with, that the things you can put it there and it will stay there. We use it to plant food, the food that you eat. That's what I like. I taught her a lot, and she kept on telling her friends. She said, no, you always say my mother is like this and like this, but your mother cannot plant food in the crusher sand.
Lebitso la ka ke nna Lentsweleng. Ke qadile ho sebetsa aquaponics farming ho tloha ka 2018 after INMED re kopane le yona for funding. Re qadile food gardening Flavius Mareka FET College, re funduwe ke UNISA College. Well, this spaces in re sona Flavius Mareka se se le senyane. Then ke college mono ya ba nna ke tla mona Maokeng Disabled Children Center ke bua le management wa mona hore ba re fe a bigger space for ho tloetsa food gardening ena e le bona mona today go tloa ka 2018. Ha e thata hobane mosebetsi wa teng o bobebe haholo ke hlokometse hore e accommodate different disabilities. Re na le batho ba tsamayang ka di-wheelchairs ba kgonang ho sebetsa ka mole ka aquaponics ya rona ka moo le tla e bona le ya ka teng. Aquaponics ka hobane ha e thata ho sebetsa ka yona, ke bone ke rata haholo ka lona lebaka leo la hore le rona re le batho ba disabled ra kgona ho sebetsa ka yona. Like ke tjho ka mokgo e build-uweng ka teng, structure sa teng sa accommodate motho mong le mong. And hape ke thabelang ka yona aquaponics, dijo tsa teng di different, ha di taste like tsena tse jetsweng mona fatshe. Ha o ja ditamati tsa teng di a differa taste ya teng. That's why ke thabelang haholo aquaponics. Lentsweleng ke cooperative e re entseng. Ke sebetsa ka bana bo thweng ke di-intellectuals, bana le intellectual disability. Jwale re ne re sebeletsa mane Flavius Mareka TVET College moo ke ileng ka thola hore bana ba se ba le bangata haholo. classroom ene ke na le yona e ne le nyenyana, bana ba le bangata. Ya ba ke fila hore 23 of them e re ke etse the cooperative ka bona. Ke hona mo Lentsweleng Cooperative e qadileng teng. Ba qala he bana ba etsa farming yane ntse ke bua ka yona hore e ne e fundiwe ke UNISA, then ra tswelella he ra ba ra fihla mona ka Lentsweleng Cooperative. Nna disability ya ka ke ena e bitswang ka hore ke hemiplegia, ke e leng hore ke la ka e thola ke na le 1 year ka lebaka la polio. Ka di 60s o la bana le polio, like ha o no na le e tso feta hona jwale ena ke
COVID.
Like COVID, ho la bana le ka di 60s o la bana le something like COVID ne bitswa polio. Jwale ka tshwarwa ke polio ke na le selemo se 1. That's why he ke le interested to sebetsa ka batho ba disabled one. Le nna ke disabled ha ke re self. And ke a e rata ntho ya ho sebetsa le bana ba disabled haholo. Ebile le bana ba ka ba dula ba ntse ba complaina mehlena le mehlena hore o rata bana ba disabled le ho feta rona. Jwale ke a e thabela he ho sebetsa le bona. Ha ke bone mona ho na le challenging as a disabled person. Ho tswa fela hore na wena o ikemiseditse ha kae. What at the end of the day wena o bene le something e o e tholang. Like mona ke ha re keta ho harvesta re na le dintho tse leng hore ra di nka re di isa malapeng, dijo. Jwale ha ke bone ena le bothata hobane ka nnete at the end of the day re tla be re na le tjhelete e leng at the end of the year re tla be re share, then re kgone ho le rona re bene le tjhelete, re etse profit. Mme support ngata from the community, like Alina a tshware ra rekisa from the mall, ra rekisa bo ditleliniking le bokae. Even le parents with the ya bana ba kenang sekolo mona ba reka. Challenge fela nkare ntene cooperative e na le mathata e leng hore ke mathata a yona e leng hore o tla fumana ho tse ding tsa dintho ha re kgone ho etsa di-funding proposal ka lebaka leo la hore re tshwanetse re lokise di-document tsa rona most tsa teng tse leng hore di sebetsa haholo ka Lentsweleng. Yes, mme batho ba tlohela because we started with nothing. Ha o starta o sena niks, batho ba kgathala on the way. But we are still managing hore re ne re tswelelle pele. Rona ra tswelella hobane ke re na le the thing ya hore re batla e bona ile successful nthwena. Funder like INMED, ke batla wa leboha haholo hobane ke bona ba re fundileng. Ntate Unathi ke ena ba re fundileng, INMED South Africa, INMED USA, for di-structure tsena kaofela tse le di bonang. Re sebetsa haholo la Usman Tombi, re sebetsa hape le Ntate Menzi, ke bona ba re fang support haholo. Jwale ke batla ho thank you to INMED, ba tlise ba bang hape le Woolworths le yona e re fundile. Woolworths e fundile di-learners tse 20 ya ba fa di-equipment tsa ho sebetsa mahaeng, ba etse di-food gardens at the backyard. Department of Agriculture nka thabela haholo ba etse di-site visits all the time ba tle mona, then ba tlo sheba hona di-needs tsa rona ke difeng, hore re tsebe ho sebedisana ha mmoho le bona. Wa tseba ke proud haholo ka ena ngwanona wa ka ona. Ke thabela hobane o sebete man, wa tseba o ntho e nngwe le nngwe wa e etsa ka passion. Haholoholo la ntso mothiba o ntso Motlalapule man o so buile haholo eng kae ka hobane o na le the love of agriculture, the love of the disabled learners. Ke ena o mong of my student he, hobane ha re etse aquaponics farming fela, ke re ke ena le traditional gardening ke ena la e bona. Hape re na le skills se re se etsang ho thweng ke beadwork. Ke startile ka group eo ke ba ruta ho etsa di-beads, then from yona group eo ya ba etsang di-beads ya ba ke ba divide ya lona le tla etsa beadwork, then lona le tla etsa farming ka nqena. As you see, I'm too old now. Ke batla ho bona hona le entrepreneurs with disabilities. Bana ba iketsetse profit except SASSA grant one e nyane for bona. E ke batlang hape ke ho bona this project e hodile e le hore batho ba etsang di-training tsa agriculture ba tle mona ba tlo nka di-practicals hona mona ka hona ka jareteng yona ena ya rona ena. Ke yona ntho e nka ka batlang ho e thabela ke e bone e etsahala. Ke e siye le menyabuketso ya ka he hore ke siile mane bana ba le hantle. Hona jwale ke na le 61 ne se ke fila hore ke kgathetse jwale ha ke batle ho siya bana bana in the street hobane ntho ene ehlile ke entse ke ya hore ba tle bana ke ba tlise mona ke ba tlosa for di-abuse lekeisheneng hobane bana ba disabled a kere ba abuse ba lekeisheneng. Jwale ha ba le mona ka nnete ba protected. Ke yona ntho e ke batlang hore ke siye ke bona hore ba hantle le ha nka ka jwale ke ka nnete jwale ke kgathetse ke ya hae ke lo phomola ke siye bana ba le hantle.
Firstly, I would like to say thanks to Matulu. As she's been explaining that she wants to leave the legacy that we can stand up for ourselves. She's not like doing it like teaching us about the gardening. She's teaching us about life. No, Alina, you don't have to wear like this. A lady doesn't wear like this. You have to wear like this. No, Alina, when your parents say this, you don't have to. She teaches us life, not just gardening, not just beadwork. And she do it with love. The passion that, as you can see, the passion that I have, I got it from her. Because whether she's sick, whether she's sad, you won't see. You will never see her. She's always here. And she will always be leaving her own kids, like her flesh and blood, and come to us and give us the love. And she will say, my kids will always explain that they I love you more than I love them. And then she inspired me to do more, to love people more. Not just pretend to say, I love her. Don't love her because she has disability. No. Love her because she's a person. And she forgot to say something. She is a God-fearing woman. Everything that she does, like I explained to her, that when I was at Iketseseng, she said, there is nothing wrong with you being disabled because the God said, I want you to see how great I am. That's why I made a person that cannot see. So that thing, I got it from her. She's a God-fearing woman. And whatever you do to her, whether it's bad, whether it's good, she said, God is okay. And she will say, no, I understand, Alina, it's Alina. No, she's Alina, I understand. And I would like to thank INMED for being part of us, not for being people that are finding us. No, they are part of us. And if you have a problem and say, Mr. Unati, this and this, Menzi, I have this problem. And Menzi won't say, I'm busy. No, Menzi will answer you, Alina, I remember at COVID, I will say, Menzi, this machine, he taught me, you can remember, this machine is not doing anything. Alina, calm down. What do you see there? And I will explain to him what I see. And then he will like explain it. Do you understand? And he will call me back. Is it fixed? And then I will say yes. And Mandombia, I know we fight a lot, but she's a loving person, a very loving person. They love their job. They will say, Alina, don't worry, I'm on my way. Where are you, Mandombi? I'm on my way. They're they're not just here they are here to build our life. And most importantly, I would like to thank Morgan Disabled for giving us this place. Because if they didn't like say, come, there will be nothing here. We will still be at Impadi doing beadwork. We will know nothing about INMED, we will know nothing about whatever. Most importantly, I would like to thank them. This is the members of Lentsweleng and Iketseseng. And this lovely lady, her name is Musidi. She doesn't have no disability. She's a daughter to the lovely lady, Miss Ntagitolo. She volunteer with us. She's part of us. She manage us. She help us with many things. As you can see her, she doesn't mind using what we call peke. They know her very well. She does many things. She will have her nails. Those very nails. She will be working here. And we was like, this lady, she's gonna waste her nails. And now she will be working here. So this lady, she said, no. I'd rather stop complaining. I said, Mother, where are you going? Why are we leaving us? You always come late. She said, I'm going to see what is there. And like I said, I'm teaching my daughter. Miss Ntwaki was already teaching her daughter about this. And she come every day here.